What is up? Object 259 Alpha in Super Test. Today we're going to talk about a new tank in Super Test, and these are the early stats that are coming out for this tank. Basically, what you are looking at is a Tier IX 257. This is very similar looking to a 257 Tier 9 heavy tank. It's got the same kind of hull shape and the same kind of turret shape as well. It looks kind of stocky, bulky, a lot of angles. It looks like it's very difficult to penetrate because of its angled armor. And to be honest with you, I think it looks really good. I like the modeling. It's, you know, kind of cool with a machine gun sitting at the back of the turret and pointing towards the front. The way it sits out there looks like it's like some kind of automated machine gun that you can control from inside the tank. It looks pretty cool. The hull definitely looks like a little bit like a Defender, a 257 Tier 9. Pretty cool looking. So let's talk a little bit about it. This is 1450 hit points on a Tier 8 premium heavy tank with 900 horsepower, 15 power to weight ratio. Basically, you are talking about a tank. Imagine you are driving in a 703 version 2, but faster, and you had a Defender 252U turret. So basically, this is what is going on with this tank. Imagine you are in a 703 version 2. This is the type of mobility I'm expecting. It's going to drive exactly like a 703 version 2, but it has a gun, a 122mm gun, exactly like a Defender. And it performs exactly like a Defender as well, except the Alpha is slightly less at 420 blaze it damage. Like I said, the power to weight ratio 15, the horsepower per ton, the horsepower of the engine 900, exactly like a 703 version 2, but faster because 60 kilometers an hour going forward, 12 kilometers an hour going in reverse. The traverse speed is 31.29 degrees. This is pretty good because I think it traverses exactly like a Defender. The turret itself traverses at 30.25 degrees, which is faster than a Defender. So very interesting tank, because I think this tank is going to be absolutely amazing. It is going to be absolutely dominant. We're going to move on and talk about the hull armor. Hull armor is 160 frontally, 160 on the side. A lot better than a Defender or a 703. The turret armor 250 frontally, which is exactly the same as a Defender, but it is 160 millimeters on the side, and it's sloped. A Defender is only 150 millimeters and sloped on the side. 703 version 2 is only 120 on the side, and it's not as sloped as this. So this thing is going to have incredible armor, and it's going to have a Defender gun. It's going to have a mobility like a 703, but faster. This tank is just going to be insane. Damage is 420 Alpha, 530 with HE shells if you penetrate, and the penetration on this gun is 233 standard penetration with APCR shells. Now that is absolutely insane, because standard shells are going to be APCR with 233 penetration. Remember, APCR shells have high velocity. We are talking about 1,400 meters per second. You are talking about light speed. It's going to be a laser at 233 penetration, which means you're going to fire very little premium rounds in this tank. 233 penetration is more than enough for you to obliterate Tier 8s and Tier 9s. But if you do come across Tier 10s, you can fire the optional premium shells at 285 penetration heat shells. So heat shells don't travel very fast. I think these are 820 meters per second. Not very high speed, but you're going to be firing mostly standard APCR shells, because that is going to be more than enough for you to demolish nearly anyone. Reload time 14.38 seconds. We are talking about exactly the same reload time as a Defender. Remember, this is the same gun, 122mm gun, 14.38 reload time. The dispersion, I know a lot of people have reported that dispersion is 0.42, which is pretty bad, but the updated stats says it's going to be 0.40 dispersion, which means it's going to be exactly, or actually it's going to be better than a Defender kind of accuracy. Defender accuracy isn't very good. This is going to be slightly better. The aim time 3.07 seconds, exactly like a Defender, but remember, this is 420 damage instead of the 440 in the Defender. But this tank has really high top speed, 60 kilometers an hour. It's gonna drive and feel like a 703 version 2 when it's turning, when it's going forward and reverse, but a 703 version 2 only does 38 kilometers an hour top speed. With a turbo, it can do 42 kilometers an hour. This thing will do 60 kilometers an hour. Whether it can get to 60 kilometers an hour or not, I am not sure, because this tank is significantly going to be heavier than a Defender. It's going to be 60,000 tons, which is same as a 703 version 2. A 703 version 2 has no problem getting to 38 kilometers an hour top speed. Will it have enough engine power and power to weight ratio to get it to 60 kilometers an hour forward speed? I'm not too sure. We will find out in due time. This thing takes a 5-man crew. It has 2 loaders, a commander, a driver, and a gunner. Yeah, so this is the new tank, and it is pretty interesting. And as far as I'm concerned, with the stats that it's going to be released in at the current moment, I think this tank is going to be absolutely OP. It has a little bit of a weakness. I can show it to you here. It has a lowered turret. I mean, the roof of the turret, you can see it is quite low, which means you can actually shoot the roof of the turret and the cupola. That's going to be the weak spot. When you are facing it this way, you can aim at the top of the turret. This is going to be a huge weak spot that you can hit. You might need premium shells to do it, but this is not going to be difficult to hit. This is the only weakness that I can see in this tank at the moment. If you look at it from this side again, imagine shooting at this thing hull down. You have a huge top of the turret here. The roof of the turret is sloping forward, which means you can definitely penetrate this and the cupola. So that is what I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.